for the first Q&A session? No? All right, thank you very much. Could I get a motion to adopt the agenda as amended, please?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, carried, thank you. Regular public council minutes for February 16th. Could I get a motion to adopt, please?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any errors or omissions? All in favor? Aye. Opposed, carried, thank you. Conflict of interest, the little sheet is there. And as per normal practice, if something comes up, make sure you let us know. Proclamations. We have 2 proclamations this evening, one for Easter Seals Month. Councillor Goss.
Proclamation for Easter Seals Month, which is March. Approximately 130,000 people of all ages in our province live with disabilities such as physical, sensory, cognitive, or other disabilities that present boundaries to full participation in society. Whereas Easter Seals Newfoundland and Labrador is a charitable organization with a vision for a community where all people with disabilities live full, healthy, and active lives. A mission to engage, inspire, and maximize opportunities for people with disabilities of all ages by providing meaningful programs and services. Whereas Easter Seals Newfoundland recreational programs help those with disabilities explore what they can do through independent camps, art and music, therapy, and adaptive sports, promoting full, active, and healthy socially engaged lifestyles. Whereas Easter Seals Newfoundland offers employment and education services to assist those with barriers to employment in successful transitioning from home and school into adulthood and independence with a focus on preparing for, obtaining, and maintaining gainful employment. Whereas Easter Seals Newfoundland I Can Too Disability Awareness Program activities foster disability awareness and sensitivity and provide tools for accessibility and inclusion.
Therefore, with the support of the Council of Torbay, I sign this proclamation and declare the month of March 2026 to be observed throughout the town of Torbay as Easter Seals Month. I call upon all citizens of the town of Torbay to support this worthy charitable organization and the people of all ages and all disabilities it serves. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Comments? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Thank you. The second one is Purple Day proclamation for epilepsy for March 26th. Councilor Martin.
Thank you, Mayor. Whereas Purple Day is a global effort to promote epilepsy awareness in countries around the world, and whereas Purple Day was founded by 9-year-old Cassidy Megan of Nova Scotia, who wanted to let people know that if you have epilepsy, you're not alone. And whereas epilepsy is a chronic neurological disorder which affects each person differently, estimated to affect more than 10,000 people in Newfoundland and Labrador, over 300,000 people in Canada, and 50 million people worldwide. And whereas 1 in 10 persons will have at least one seizure during their lifetime, and whereas the public is often unable to recognize common seizure types and unable to respond with appropriate first aid. And whereas Purple Day will be celebrated on March 26th annually to increase understanding, reduce stigma, and improve the quality of life for people living with epilepsy throughout the country and globally.
Therefore, be it resolved that I, Craig Scott, the town of Torbay, do hereby proclaim March 26th as Purple Day in an effort to raise awareness and understanding of epilepsy and to support all those who live with seizures each day. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Comments? I'll just have a quick comment. Epilepsy, Purple Day is a big one for me every year. I have a nephew that has severe epilepsy, and I thank council for every year putting this forward. Wore my purple shirt tonight to recognize it. And we did receive an email from Epilepsy Newfoundland Labrador asking us to light the town hall up on purple on March 26th, and we will be doing that. So, thank you.
We also have staff too that have epilepsy, So undisclosed, of course, but I just want to acknowledge as well that, even though you may have epilepsy, it may not be something that's known. So yeah, we even have staff as well, so.
Right on. Excellent, thank you for pointing that out. All right, all in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried, thank you. All righty, where am I here? Presentations, we have none. Q&A, we have none. Mayor's report, just this, I'm gonna bring up the birthdays for March. So in planning and development, we have Digar Kashpur. Planning, also Shane Blunden. In recreation, Logan Slaney. Public Works, Evan Vokey, and Ryan Hannaford. I want to wish you all a happy birthday coming up in the month of March. And hope you have a fun and safe and happy birthday. Thank you. All righty, Business Arising report. Anybody got any questions on any of that?
Just a standard question, Your Worship, on where we stand with the RFP for Great Pond? For the owner's advisor, I don't know if that's, because I'm not fair to Mark to answer this either, I suppose.
Yeah, I
I'm
think-
not sure where it stands.
Discussed it,
yeah.
and Brian's going to speak to it.
Okay.
So we've got the RFP drafted as for last, I think that was mentioned at last meeting. And we sent it in to TI and Water Resource Management Division for comments. So they responded late last week, and we did meet on Friday morning. So Nagar is compiling those comments, and we're going to review it mid this week, I think, and hopefully by Friday. I'm looking to my colleagues there for some dates. I think by Friday, we're going to hopefully have that ready to go to legal and for council's review.
Yeah, there was a tremendous amount of comments and not so much errors, but recommendations.
Yeah, Water Resources did a really good review of it, I must say.
A very extensive review. So we're going to take that and work on the RFP a little more with that.
Is it going to legal first or council first?
I think we're doing it simultaneously.
Yeah.
Just on another thing around, I guess, Great Pond, we spoke some time, and it's been on the go for some while now, the land use around Great Pond and the functions. I know that was sitting with Water Resource Management and Planning and maybe Nagar as well. Just Julia, can you update us on where we stand on the land use? Sorry for putting you on the spot, but.
Yeah, no, that's good. It's on the radar. So we actually spoke about this at our last meeting, and the draft, there's recommended draft policies that Nagar has prepared and that we're going to review at the Friday meeting, and they're being circulated for commentary. And then the next step would be, once we have basically our ducks in a row with our recommendation, then we would meet with the Provincial Water Resources Division to discuss the proposed approach, and then we find an agreement, and then we will update council on that.
After, you're going to update council after the fact, or should we not be circulated at the same time?
Yeah, not going to be
What's that?
finalized right now. Like right now, really, we need to discuss that with them in conjunction also with that request for the protection of Great Pond as a municipal water supply. So really, at this point, we're just seeking the feedback from Water Resources on their recommended approach, and then, there's nothing's going to be set in stone by that point. There's room for council to review and discuss it.
Thank you.
Okay. And I should add, too, that the draft policy recommendations were also forwarded to the consulting firm that's working on the municipal plan review, because some of the recommended policies can be incorporated in the plan policy.
Any time frame on that, Julia? Do you know? I know you said Friday, and then when we.
Well, they haven't been, and they are being circulated for review to those on the committee. So if we can discuss it this Friday, we're gonna have to see if there's enough time based on the discussion of the RFP. If we have time, we can discuss it this week at the latest, within the next 10 days. and then we would contact Water Resources. I'm going to contact Water Resources anyways right now, just to inquire about the status of the protection of the water supply and indicate that we want to meet with them and set that meeting with them. So probably a couple of weeks.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, anything else on that? All right, info notes. We got a couple of info notes here from M&L. One is about symposium. So those members of council who are interested in going to symposium, make sure you respond to Kim's email. There's also a couple other things in here too that there's links to stuff. This must be a new format that they have, because they have a link here for survey, accessibility, busing grants, talk about a few jobs, so,
This goes kind of part and parcel with their new web,
yeah,
so they put all the links inside the info note as well.
it's good, good stuff.
Just on symposium, the M&L reserves the rooms, right, not per town, right, they just book a whole block, right? And then it's first come, first served. Does M&L limit it to numbers per town, do you know? I can't remember.
I know for conference, they were limited to 2 rooms, I think, or 2 rooms per town. I don't know that they do that for symposium, but I think it was about a week ago, Kim, that, you know, that the rooms were available to book. So I know that Kim booked some rooms at that time for people that are interested in going.
Okay.
All right, and there's an info note here for, what's the other one? Yeah.
They kind of go hand in hand. One is just from the 18th, one is from the 20th.
Oh, okay, all right. Both the same. One talks about the Western Regional Meeting. If you're interested in going to the Western Regional Meeting, I don't know why you would, but feel free, register and go on. All right, committees of council. Committee of the whole, no report. Planning Development, Councilor Pollard.
Thank you, Your Worship. We met on Wednesday. Only a couple items here. First one is for a single dwelling with secondary suite at 17 Cedarwood Lane. It went through the discretionary ad process and there was no objection to the proposed construction. So a motion to conditionally approve application C 2026-004 for proposed single dwelling with secondary suite at 17 Cedarwood Lane in accordance with regulations 33 and 90 of the Torbay Development Regulations 2015 to 2025 pertaining to discretionary uses and subject to standard conditions for new home construction in Torbay and conditions outlined in the attached background report. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Comments? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried.
The second is almost identical to the first, the same process and no objection. It's for a secondary suite on the residential large lot on 6 Nathaniel Drive. So the motion is conditionally approve application C 2026-008 for proposed secondary unit at 6 Nathaniel Drive in accordance with regulations 33 and 90 of the Torbay Development Regulations 2015 to 2025 pertaining to discretionary uses and subject to conditions outlined in the attached background report. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Comments? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Thank you.
The next one is related to 279 Indian Mill Line, where there's an application here for a home office, landscaping snow clearing company. This came to our attention actually as a result of a query from a resident, and the follow-up in the application was processed based on that query complaint from a resident in terms of the amount of equipment that was being stored at this particular residence. And the committee discussed it and doesn't have an issue with the home-based office, but certainly has an issue with the amount of equipment being stored there without permit and without agreement from the town, and certainly in a residential area. So we said that we would go ahead and conditionally approve the home office, but the conditions would have to be that they would need to remove the equipment. So the motion is conditionally approve application BR 2025-011 for the operation of a home-based office in association with a landscaping snow clearing business at 279 Indian Mill Line in accordance with regulations 33 and 90 of the Torbay Development Regulations 2015 to 2025 pertaining to discretionary uses And subject to the development meeting standard conditions for a home-based business in the residential infill land use zone, and more specifically, the required removal of all heavy commercial equipment from the residential property at 279 Indian Mill Line within 14 days of the issuance of the approval letter. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Questions or comments?
So once again, the approval is conditional on the fact that the equipment has to be removed within a 14-day period. And after that, if it doesn't get moved, then we'd have to issue some type of order, more than likely.
Right. And the reason for 14 days is because that's the appeal period for anybody that, whenever you pass a motion, someone has 14 days to appeal it, so there was no point putting it any less than that. Okay, all in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
And last motion is to accept the Torbay 2026 permit listings for the weeks ending February 2026 as tabled. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you.
Just want to bring everybody's attention to the active transportation study that's now on the go, so people can go on and follow up on the website and complete the survey. So we'll encourage residents to do so. The town is also undertaking a climate change vulnerability and adaptation study. On February 11th, there was a workshop at Torbay Common, and there was some good feedback provided, and the consultant has taken that away. And so there's also a what we heard report and an assessment report that will be published on the town's website once that's all completed, so keep an eye for that. And so ends my report, Your Worship.
All right, thank you very much. Anybody have any questions on any of that stuff? No? All right, thank you. Administration and HR, Counselor Goss.
Thank you. We met on February 24th on Tuesday. The items that we discussed were surrounding recruitment and selection, planning and development ambassador 2026 summer student position, planning and development. The summer student job has been posted externally on the Career Beacon and on the town's website under the career section with a closing date of Friday, March 6th, in accordance with the town's job posting policy. Following the closing date, the Chief Human Resources Officer will meet with the Director of Planning and Development to review the application and to determine the next steps in the selection process in accordance with the town's interviewing and selection applicants policy. Further update will be provided to all members of council once they're available. The second was the Immigration Settlement Coordinator in the Economic Development, Tourism and Culture Employment Extension. And we have a motion. Whereas the town of Torbay has received approval from the Employment and Training Division of the Department of Jobs, Growth and Rural Development to extend the Immigration Settlement Coordinator position under the Newfoundland and Labrador Settlement and Integration Program. And whereas the extension is fully funded by the provincial government at no cost to the town and will conclude on Wednesday, June 3rd, 2026. Therefore, it be resolved that the council approve the employment extension of the Immigration Settlement Coordinator position until Wednesday, June 3rd, 2026, as fully funded by the province. Two other items we have is the flex.
Moved.
Ooh.
Get a seconder?
You gotta say so.
So moved.
Seconder? Seconded. Comments? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Carry on.
Other items are the flex time schedule, the recreation coordinators. The Director of Recreation and Community Services has provided a full listing of scheduled programs and events and rentals for both the winter and the upcoming spring session for review with the recreational coordinators. Following this review, the Director of Recreation and Community Service and the Chief Human Resource Officer will meet with the union and the coordinators to review and discuss possible flex time schedule options. Further update will be provided to all members of council following that joint consultation session. Our next meeting is March 9th, and that concludes everything discussed.
All right, thank you. Any questions? Okay, thank you very much. Corporate Services, Councilor Pollard.
Thank you, Your Worship. So there's information there on the payroll process for the 15th to the 25th of February. It's for 56 employees, total $147,930.18. The first motion here is for donation request for fundraising initiative for a trip to Greece, where a group of students will be participating in a musical performance representing their school and community. So we ask the council approve $100 for this particular person. The council approve a financial contribution of $100 to support the school trip to Greece. All funds collected will be placed in a dedicated account to support students whose families may not have the financial means to afford the educational and cultural opportunity. This initiative aims to ensure that all eligible students can participate regardless of financial circumstance. So moved.
Moved and seconded. Comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carried. Thank you.
Next up is the invoices over $5,000, of which there are only 4 this time around. So Brentag Canada Chlorine for water treatment in the amount of $8,993.05. GFL Environmental for the monthly garbage collection and recycling in the amount of $66,147.80. GHD Digital Canada Limited for the Mannion database, $19,607.50. And Receiver General of Canada for payroll deductions for February 1st to the 15th in the amount of $50,335.77, all totaling $145,084.12. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Comments?
Just want to make note that the Mannion database is covered by funding we received over the past little while, so I say.
Okay, good. Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
And there's a donation request there for a local athlete to go to the Karate National Championships. So the council approved a financial contribution of $100 to help a local athlete represent the town at the National Championship in Edmonton from May 14th to the 17th by offsetting participation fees and reducing financial barriers. So moved.
Moved and seconded. Comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
And so ends my report, Your Worship.
Thank you, sir. Alrighty. Economic Development, Tourism, History, and Culture. Councilor Whitten.
Thank you, Mayor. So we had our meeting on February 23rd at the History House. And some items we discussed were in economic development, the immigration settlement position. It's the extension reallocation of funds that we had just spoke about in our HR report. This position has been extended until June 3rd and is at no cost to the town. The regional transportation feasibility study will complete within the next 2 weeks, at which time we will move forward to the next phase, which is development of a proposal to acquire buses and related infrastructure. Our Bradbury Memorial, there's an update. We are moving forward to have this project brought to completion. All design work is complete and we'll see the creation of a permanent display inside the History House. History House Annex, our next steps are there is going to be drafting of an RFP for project management and design services. And we have reached out to Heritage NL, Museum Association Newfoundland, and others for firm who do work. This is in the heritage sector. The Best of Torbay Awards. Nominations are now open for awards, so the ceremony will be on April 26th. So let's get our nominations in. Marketing Communications 2026 Community Spring Guide is complete and available online. And we are promoting and organizing the Best of Torbay Awards, which is ongoing. We are developing a schedule for summer program at the History House, and the mold remediation is underway. Our next meeting is March 9th, 2026 at the History House again.
All right.
Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. Any questions?
Just one on the remediation process. Do we know when that is expected to be complete?
As far as I know, it was supposed to be about 2 weeks' work. That should be, are we right on that?
Not sure. No, it might be a little bit longer than that, but definitely should be done by the spring, which is April, so hopefully by next month.
Really? Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
Longer than that?
Alrighty. Infrastructure and Public Works. Councilor Martin.
Thank you, Mayor. We didn't have a meeting this time around. All the public works staff were busy tackling all the snow, but we do have some updates. The North Pond Treatment Plant request for proposal closed on Friday, February 27th. We'll have more information on this at the next meeting. The Torbay Common Generator Project. Generators arrived in the province in February. Contractor is doing some additional work on it, and there's a bit of a delay on this work. It's now expected to be installed in April. And we received the estimates back on the culvert project for our multi-year capital works funding. Still waiting on the Tondale Pump House upgrades with the pricing. And I also just wanted to give a big shout out to the snow clearing crews for the job they've done tackling all that snow we've had. Crew 1 is Bob Goss, Robert Hussey, Brian Windsor, Paul Mahoney, Christian Kennedy, Ryan Hannaford. Crew 2, Dave Murn, Lisa Lewis, Danny Kavanagh, Jordan Cross, Michael Barron. The supervisor is Evan Vokey, and of course the director, Brian Winter. Great job. Thank you very much.
Yeah, has been everybody and ladies and gentlemen over in the Public Works Department have been busy. No doubt about it. All
So
right.
ends my report.
Well, thank you. Where am I to now? Recreation and Community Services. Back to you, sir.
Thank you, Mayor. Hold on, I got updates everywhere here. All right. No meeting this time, so I just have some updates. Spring registration for residents open up February 25th. It's ongoing. I believe, I spoke to the director today, there's some 360 residents have signed up for different programs and events so far, so it's going really well. Summer programs and events. Staff are working on plans for summer programming, which include two summer day camps this year, Killicoast Games, Canada Day, and a time in Torbay. Buildings staff have been very, very busy with snow clearing the buildings to the large amount of snow. Also, a shout out to Public Works who have helped them because that department is down to one snowblower and a whole lot of shoveling. Shout out to those guys too, and girls.
Yeah.
And just some others. The hiring, the director is working with the chief human resources officer to develop all job descriptions and job postings for summer day camp and other programming needs. Job postings will be out early March. The director is also looking at a possible need to hire some staff for an Easter camp. Inclusion and Advisory Committee. The first event that was planned, unfortunately, had to be postponed due to the weather. It's been rescheduled for Sunday, March 15th, 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. at Torbay Common. I know I have an excited little boy who can't wait to go. And if you need any more information about this event or the committee, please reach out to Director Martin. It's Jen Martin at torbay.ca. And before I go, I also want to give a shout out to the maintenance crew, as I just did, but the snow clearing for the last 2 weeks, the large amount of snow, they're down snow blowers. Also, one of our staff members, Ali Hollahan, is working her way through birthday party rentals. She was off for a couple of days last week, and when she returned today, she had 100 requests for rentals. So she's working her way through it. Please be patient.
All right.
So ends my report.
Thank you, sir. Oh, and the spring community guide's coming out soon, too, right? It's out.
It's out.
All right. All right, thank you very much. Anybody have any questions on any of that stuff? All righty. Liaison committees, Atlantic Mayor's Congress, no update. Intergovernmental Affairs, we've been back and forth with the department after that letter we received the other day about our multi-year capital works funding, and staff are working through that, and I already contacted MHA Wall on it. I'm going to follow up with him. There has been a lot of issues with the lights at Jackburn and Torbay Road, apparently. We've been getting a lot of, and the ones on the bypass road, we've been getting a lot of inquiries from residents that when we've had those snowfalls, when it's been really windy, the lights have been getting kind of plugged up and you really can't see where you're going. So I remind people to be careful when you're going through those intersections. If you can't see the light, treat it as a four-way stop. Don't take for granted that the other people are going to stop going the other way. I think there was an accident yesterday or the day before somewhere on the bypass road, but people got to be careful. Jackburn.
Thank you, Your Worship. We met last week before? We met since last time we met, let's put it that way. We had some good discussions, actually, and I can't remember what happened there, but we had a full agenda, and there's going to be items coming back to the next meeting of the mayor's Killick Coast for discussion on Jackburn overall.
Okay.
We are sending out the invoices in the mail or requests for the money that we had requested budget time as a follow-up. Or Jack Byrne was, not we necessarily, was at about $75,000 in overdraft when we met. So we're still, well in debt, shall we say, but we still got a bit of operating room and that type thing. We sent the budget back to Kathy and company for a redo in terms of, it came forward and projected a $50,000 loss in that area, so we're gonna see what we can do with that. Having said that, the canteen operations were renewed with Robbins again, which is good news. At least that keeps the tenant in place. There was a list of repairs and maintenance, scheduled repairs and that were done and that were needed to be done, so we're keeping a close eye on the cost of those. The events, I guess there's a want and a need for the towns to become more in tune, I guess, with the fact that they are owners of Jackburn Arena and there are events going on there that really need to be supported and assistance offered in that respect, that we get, bang for our buck and make sure people take up whatever is being done at Jackburn. There's a number of events booked and a lot of them are repeats, obviously. Shamrock, which is be Saturday, March 14th, which is obviously a St. Paddy's Day concert type thing. There's trade shows, the Milestone Mega Market, driving bingo will be going on again. The Thomas Amusements will be in the parking lot. The ongoing fairs that we had in the previous year will still be there as well. So we're, as far as the special events goes, it looks like there's a good uptake. So hopefully the next round of budget will come back a little better than that. Councillor Gossett, I don't know if you want to add anything to that?
One of the discussions that we did have was each of the towns promoting a lot of the events at Jackburn a little bit more than we have been, sharing them on websites, that sort of thing, so that we're all getting the word out there that these events are there, not just on the Jackburn website.
Right, yeah, okay, yeah. I don't think that's two owners. We should be able to do something there.
I guess there's more the uptake of people attending, actually.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's sort of out there and kind of forgotten about, but there is a lot of activity and a lot of good events there too, and potential for more if there was a lot more uptake in terms of resident participation. Right?
I think the problem that we run into, like in particular when you talk about Saturday, March 14th, Paddy's Day, the town, probably all 5 towns in this area got something on the go on Paddy's Day too, so you're competing with each other. So it's kind of really, it's difficult, right, to attract all those people to go to all those things. So, but we just got to keep at it. If the events are good, people will go.
Well, we'll bring that back too, so let's see if we can't get a better coordination on some of the events, right?
Yeah.
And if there is that shared knowledge, I guess, then people can actually take a look and see what's complementary and what would be competitive type thing, and maybe change or alter some of the offerings that we have.
That's not a bad idea. Maybe we could partner with them on some events and do them out there.
Coordinate it better.
And then we can rent our place out for pickleball. Seems to be everybody wants it.
Right, and then we come back and complain that the commons not making enough money.
Yeah, I know. You can't win, look, you can't win one way or the other. It's a balancing act that we have to play. But, and to your point, right, about the overdraft and all that kind of stuff, almost every other municipality operating a arena similar to that in the province will be happy to be in the position that we're in with the amount of money that our owners had to actually put into that place, because I've talked to mayors from around the province who operate buildings, and it's a sinkhole of money, particularly those with pools. Alrighty, Northeast Avalon Joint Council, we haven't met since the last meeting. RNC, I don't have any update. Torbay Volunteer Fire Department, Councilor Martin.
No meeting.
No meeting, okay. And the Urban Municipalities Committee, no update. The next meeting of that is in April in Port Basque. Alrighty. That is that. No notice of motion. New business. Everybody passed except me. So I just want to pass along my condolences, I guess, on behalf of council to the family of Mrs. Joyce Manning, the wife of our first mayor, Bill. I've known Joyce pretty much my entire life, grown up down around that area, and she was a wonderful woman and very kind and nice, and really miss her, and I know her family does, and you know, I was happy to attend her funeral the other day. Well, happy to, but I was happy I was able to make it, and it was a wonderful celebration of a wonderful woman, and you know, my condolences to her family. And also, I only heard this one last night, and Mr. Bob Yetman passed away, and Bob was a wonderful, wonderful man, and you know, I always enjoyed chatting with him, and I'm friends with his family and him, and you know, it's pretty sad for me. Well, for me, I'm getting to that age in my life where a lot of my friends, their parents are passing away. I experienced this myself this past summer, and you know, it just seems like it's an endless thing, and I want to make sure that we don't forget those people who lived in our town for years and helped build it and made it what it is today. You know, we just carry on the work that they've done over the years, and we're lucky to be able to do it. So I don't have anything else to say about that. It's just very sad. I do want to say thank you. Thank you to council and to staff and to residents for the work that you put in over the last couple of weeks to doing our business of the town. And in particular, you know, I hate to single them out, but it's been a rough couple of weeks for snow clearing, and it's already, I said earlier, it's already been a long month, and it's only March 2nd, so, you know, it's, you had to bear with me, but thank you, everybody, and keep up the good work. And, you know, it's always, tomorrow is always better than it was today, hopefully. All right, Q&A. Is there anybody that would like to get on to second Q&A? Colleen?
Just a question for Julia. Julia, you said that Water Resources came back with a bunch of questions. Just wondering if those questions are accessible to the public.
No.
Right now, basically, we forwarded the draft RFP for feedback to the provincial government. So that's the Provincial Department of Transportation and Infrastructure and Water Resources. Right now, we're working them into the draft RFP and assessing which ones we need to discuss further. So, I mean, right now, they're kind of just internal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Julia.
Okay.
All right. That our next public council meeting is scheduled to take place Monday, March 16th, 2026 at 5 o'clock right here in the council chambers in the town of Torbay. With that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn, please.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Thank you very much.